All right, so today's video, we're back with TikTok Reacts. Again, we're starting off with a Neandra clip. They always have great clips. So let's see what they have for us in store today. Okay, this is useless Overwatch facts about Season 11. Here we go.
Subskin was changed to have a more realistic face texture, and I'm not sure if this looks cool or very creepy. There's a meteor in the sky of multiple maps, which could either be teasing Space Ranger or the Transformers collab.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's probably Space Ranger or the Transformers collab. I feel like Transformers collab makes more sense because, like, you just think of Transformers in that way. At the same time, because we don't know anything about Space Ranger and, like, the lore they're trying to do, this could be, like, a lead-up to, like, is it Gamescom where they're going to be announcing stuff for Season 12? Something like that, so I'm curious to see.
The concept art for Ash's mythic skin shows a third headpiece that seemingly got scrapped.
Aww.
Malma holds a cocktail in his breezy highlight intro if you have his new Porter-Pair skin equipped.
I mean, you could just have that in your hand when you're playing Malga and you'll probably pop off.
Crafted has some neat custom designs.
Oh, that's cool.
Mercy's default hero gallery pose now holds out her staff and blaster. On Runa Sapi, the line that shows the robot path is also a water pipe, which I think is a really
I didn't realize that.
Ash has a
that's
mythic
cool.
exclusive voice line for Nano Boost.
There's no stopping my legion.
Red Ultra Watch skin has an age rating sticker on the side.
I didn't know
Bob
that.
is bugged with Ash's mythic in her Ash and Bob highlight intro. Ash also has a new voice line for...
What is that? What is Bob doing? That's my Bob right there. Bob just is useless.
Mythic in her Ash and Bob highlight intro. Ash also has a new voice line for eliminating Cassidy.
We said deadlock for life. I meant it.
Oh, wow.
On Runa Sapi, each spawn has a different banner on one of the side doors, right?
Oh, wait. Isn't Deadlock the rumored name of, like, the new Valve game? I just realized that. I just thought that was funny that, like, the new Valve game also has, like... Listen, Overwatch is here accidentally reminding people of it. Deadlock! Overwatch having Ashe in the game. I don't know anything about League, but I remember when Overwatch first came out and then they released Ashe, everybody was like, oh, League of Legends! Right? Even though, just because you have, like, these, like, funny crossover, like, when it comes to names and stuff, but... Anyway, continue on here.
Well, both of these can be found on Oasis, and one is the Ministry of Genetics logo, while the other is Ministry of Chemistry. The Ministry of Genetics is headed by Moira.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, the thing is like, I love these videos because it's, like, just stuff that I'll never, like, really absorb. This is stuff I wouldn't really pick up on, even though I play Overwatch so much, so it's really cool. This is why Neandra does a great job. They really put out some cool videos, so. This is from Two-Legged Spider. It says it was replying to somebody. Okay, let's see what this says.
A stat that will probably change the way you think about Overwatch.
Okay.
In gold, 88% of teamfights are won by the team who got the first kill, and this statistic remains at or over 70% until Grandmaster, where it's at 85. But you'll notice in silver and bronze, this doesn't really seem to matter as much. My point is, as a silver player, you probably haven't really learned exactly how valuable each person in the game really is, including yourself. And if you want to leave silver, you're gonna have to figure out the things that the gold players seem to have mastered. You need to make sure before every single team fight you are regrouping as a complete 5 and make a conscious effort not to stagger yourself.
Yep.
So basically,
that's good
if you
tips.
notice 3 of your teammates are dead and you aren't in a situation where stalling the point is helpful, just hurry up and die so you could respawn with your team.
I want to pause something here, by the way. For players who struggle with this or get, like, really hard focused, which this is totally normal. If you find that sometimes you don't recognize that you're losing a team fight because you're so hard focused on a team fight, I'm telling you right now, go to your sound options. It's at the bottom of your sound options. It's going to tell you, I forgot what section it's specifically under, but it's going to give you the ability to play a sound when your teammates get in the limb and when your teammates die. Now, I have the one where your teammates die one on, and what that does for me is it plays a sound, so I know to save my ultimate or to reset.
Don't drag it out. Odds are if you die late, somebody on your team will be stupid and get themselves killed while you're walking back from spawn. Now, some of you might struggle with this just because you don't really know when your team is dead all of the time. It's easy to get lost in the fights. I recommend 2 things to you. First off, go in your settings and turn on sounds for when an enemy and a teammate are killed.
You know, I'm glad we're on the same wavelength here, right? It's exactly what it is. You get so distracted. No, I didn't pre-watch it. I promise you, I have not seen this. By the way, this has not been pre-watched. Straight up. I do not pre-watch any of these. This is all, they put it in like a Discord thing, and I go through each one. I have not seen this. I'm telling you, this setting right here is such a make or break on how Overwatch... Ooh, chat, I do a spectating series. This is something I recommend all the time.
This will be super helpful if you learn to pay attention to the audio cues. The other thing I recommend is that you really try your best to start actively paying attention to kill feed. The amount of players alive on any given team...
I can agree with that, but, like, I also will say if you start in, like, in the first direction of this, like, step 1 of, like, just putting the sound cue on, go off of that. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat, sometimes I don't even look at the kill feed. But I agree, if you can make a good habit out of checking your kill feed occasionally, it's not a bad advice in that one. Yeah.
Team is super important to the decisions your team chooses to make. Because like we learned, 88% of team fights in gold are won by the team with the first kill. So how?
I'm not surprised by that, though.
Well, if you pay attention to kill feed and notice your team gets that first kill, this could be your moment to amp up on aggression.
I can agree.
Take advantage of the fact that you're up a person and start putting immense pressure on the enemy team. What happens a lot in silver or bronze is that one team will get a kill, but the tanks won't even notice somebody got a kill and will continue to just kind of stand around passively. This completely wastes your advantage and allows the enemy team to still be comfortable in a situation where they really shouldn't be.
That's good advice.
Allowing opportunities for them to turn the fight around.
But know why you want to push up
the
too.
Percentage is so much lower in silver. Another takeaway from this:
Nessie, thanks for the finish prize. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
It's perfectly fine to only get 1 or 2 kills because again, 1 kill is enough to give you a massive advantage.
Which, by the way, we've talked about this a ton too. You don't need to get like this team wipe ultimate that gets 5 of them. It's okay to solo grab somebody. It's okay to solo tire somebody. It's okay to use Kitsune just to get pressure away from them. You don't need to use your ultimates to get 5. You can sometimes that early pick, as has been mentioned with the stats here, can make or break a team fight. Just remember that.
By not always trying to get massive ults, you will allow yourself to ult much more often and build more ults in a game. And if you can keep building an ult every other fight and keep getting early kills with those ults, it will
I like how this isn't even an ultimate right here on this
to gain any momentum. For those of you who don't know, I started as a very low bronze player and have climbed all the way up to top 500.
Good job.
So if you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer, comment them down below or send them in the Discord linked in my bio. And guys, only 1% of the people watching my videos are following me, despite 98% of you being returning viewers. So please, if you enjoy my content, remember to follow. I'm only 500 followers away from reaching 10K.
Ooh, congrats.
And I would appreciate it a ton.
Well, Chad, if you haven't followed Two-Legged Spider over here, you know what to do now, all right? Good information, good stuff there. Make sure to follow if you haven't. Okay, so this is from Yo Noah saying how to actually read the scoreboard. Let's see what this means.
Everyone loves to look at the scoreboard and start blaming their teammates whenever they're losing. Let me tell you how to actually read the scoreboard so you really know what's going on.
I'm listening.
First and foremost, the most important stat, regardless of what role you're playing, is deaths. You want to have as few as possible. If you have like 10 deaths per 10 minutes, odds are you're either just getting steamrolled as a team or you are the issue. Now, for each role individually, starting with tank, most of the time, depending on the matchup, it really is just death. Depending on what team comp both teams are running, your tank really might not be in a position to get many eliminations or do much damage. And since a lot of what a tank has to do is position correctly, the amount of deaths that they have could be a good indication of that, so I would just look at that. For DPS, it's eliminations. Securing kills with final blows is significantly more impactful than dumping 20,000 damage into the enemy Roadhog. And for support, the most important stat is actually damage. And this is for 2 reasons. The first is that healing as support is a given. If you flex your healing as support, yeah, it's a cow farm, there's gonna be cows outside, that's your job, don't feel special. And the second reason is that in the majority of games, for the majority...
I'm gonna pause. Yeah, if you're a support, and like you're playing Lifeweaver and like they're telling you to like have high damage output, I'm gonna be real with you, it ain't gonna happen. Yes, you want to find opportunities to do damage, but like at the same time, don't hard focus on that either, because there's gonna be how do I explain this? You're gonna have games where like yes, you want to have high damage output on support if you can, like a hero like Bap, Kiriko. There's moments where like you need to pick and choose your right timings, and sometimes that will lead to you doing 10,000 damage. And other times that will lead to you doing 6,000 damage in a game. So if you only hard focus on that and you're like, well, I have 10,000 damage of support, how are we losing this? Sometimes it's like, it's a map by map basis. And like each game will be different on how you have to control if you're doing more damage or more healing. Same with like Mercy, yeah, you're not gonna do a bunch of damage on Mercy.
Majority of ranks, the area that both teams will be lacking in the most is damage from the support role. Meaning any and all damage that you can provide from the support role will have a significant impact on the game.
Like I said, I think like most of the points they were good, but like I do think like don't hard focus that. Like you can still find damage, but don't force it. All right, this one is from Dubsy the Pirate King, and it just says it's funny. Okay, let's see what this is. Hey Ayari, what's in the fish tank is what it says.
I see an enemy. I see an enemy.
Oh, man. See, that's why you gotta love TikTok sometimes, or like YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. You get moments like these. You know what I mean? This is the content that you try to consume every day. This is what I'm talking about right here. All right, for this one, we have I'm Con, by the way. They said, bro, I felt so bad. That was not necessary. All right, let's see what happens here, bro.
Not deserve that.
No. Your power down. Get in there.
That right there is the exact tank experience. Listen, whenever somebody says to you, like, the reason why they don't want to play tank, that right there is exactly what happens on tank and why that role is still will be the least queued role. Imagine, and this is what, keep in mind, I'm a tank player, and I will say in Season 11, tank has gotten better, but, like, that is the experience you sign up for as a tank. Now, even just alone, you could go on based off of cooldowns alone. That right there is what you experience on tank. Every cooldown, every ultimate, even if you get nanoed and you try to have fun, good luck. I just love that. That was great. All right, next we have from Mixed Freight saying 3 random Overwatch facts you might not know.
3 random Overwatch facts you might not know.
Play nice, play Farah.
Number 1. Pharah reloads faster. When you run out of rockets on Pharah, your reload animation starts 0.25 seconds sooner compared to having ammunition left in your launcher. This little patch occurred during the June 2022 beta and was applied to Pharah and Pharah only. Number 2.
I was going to say, because
sound effect is actually...
I was going to pause that because for most heroes, you actually don't want to do that, right? Like, for example, with Ana, is it Ana where you, like, want to reload before you run out of ammo? Like, I imagine most heroes are like that, right? I didn't even realize that, to be honest with you. That kind of snuck in there during the beta. I didn't even realize that.
Actually a beer bottle opening in reverse.
100% beer!
Confirmed in the Overwatch Collector's Edition sourcebook, sound design supervisor Paul Lackey says, when you hit someone, you need to know you made contact. It should be satisfying to hit an enemy. Just think about what's satisfying. Beer. So, I literally opened a beer bottle. And just like that, we have a satisfying headshot sound effect with just a few modifications and reversing the sound. Number 3. Bastion's...
Dude, I never knew that at all. Second of all, I don't like beer. I just don't like the taste of it. It's not for me. To each their own.
Ramen skin has a scannable QR code. If you own this skin from the Season 9 Battle Pass and scan the QR code on the back of his head, you get linked to the Rikimaru Ramen Shop, which is located on the old assault map, Hanamura.
Remember this moment.
How many more facts?
Honestly, that's kind of cool. Those are things I would never know unless I saw this. No, that was a cool video. These are things I didn't know. All right, next we have the Master Chief WB saying back to the spawn room. Oh, I see a Roadhog already.
Goomba stomping the Reinhardt.
This is loud. I'm leaving it as is. Oh my. That I would be so mad.
Goomba stomping the Reinhardt.
Watch this again. So they bounce off the Rhine's head and survive. I'm going to pause it. Watch. So the Rhine pins them? What I think happened there is the Rhine canceled their pin because they didn't know if they were going to hit the pin, and then they went off the map, and then the Roadhog jumped on their head and then went back up. That's unreal. I love that. That's awesome.